Hello dear Cut and Sew Tribe, welcome to Cut and Sew Tribe YouTube channel. Yes, I'm super excited to bring this up for us again. This is a continuation of our two-piece set. In our previous class we have drafted the pattern for this class, and we even went ahead to sew the shirt part. So in this class we are going to proceed to the sewing of the skirt part. So this part you are seeing here now is just a recap of what we did in part 1. So if you would like to get the whole gist of this class, the whole tutorial, I will encourage you to watch the part 1. Do you get my points now? So I'll be leaving the link in this description box so that you can go watch it and have a detailed understanding. So this is the back block I am transferring to the fabric. So I cut out my band from it and I added my seam allowance. So this part you are going to have 2 pieces for your back block, and you just go ahead and cut out. So for the front you are going to have it unfold, and that will make it just one piece. Do you get it now? So I will remove my bands and I will just go ahead and add all the necessary seam allowance. Do you get my points now? So I'll just proceed now to the ironing table to add my interfacing to all my pieces. So can you see it? I've added my interfacing to my band. So for the back band I added interfacing to 2 pieces, and the remaining 2 pieces I did not add interfacing. Do you get it now? And for that of the front I added interfacing to only one part. So the part I added interfacing to is going to be like the main fabric, and the part that I did not add interfacing to is going to be like the lining. I hope you get it now. So this is it. I'm just trying to arrange it, and this is for the front. Can you see it? This is how your band should look like. Now I'll go ahead now and just put this aside, and we start the next thing. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I want to measure the length of my skirt. So you need to measure the length of your skirt so that you'll be able to cut the ruffles, the flounce you will have by the side. So I'll just go ahead now, whatever you get from the length of your skirt, whatever you use for the length of your skirt, you just go ahead and double it so that you have excess you can pleat around your uh ruffles. Do you get my point now? So my whole length is 28 from the drafting. It is an high waist skirt, so 28 times 2 is going to give us 56. So that 56 is going to be the circumference. Do you get it now? So you know how to cut flare, I want to believe. So the formula you can use to get the radius of your flare is going to be 6.28, whatever the circumference of your circle is. So to get the radius, you go ahead and divide it by 6.28. So 6.28, I'll use it to divide 56. Do you get it now? So I'll just go ahead now and measure it across. So I folded my fabric into 4. You need to fold it into 4, and I'll just measure my radius across. So this is my radius I am putting there. I will measure it across. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and measure the length of this flounce. So together with the seam allowance, I used 7 inches for the wideness. You are still going to fold it at the hem, and you are still going to attach it to the skirt. So it depends on how wide you want your flounce, the width to be, but I want to encourage it shouldn't be less than 5 inches if you really want it to come out very well. So I'll just go ahead and cut out my circle. So I'm going to cut two of these. We have it on the two side. So what I did now is what I will repeat on the second side. Whatever the length of your skirt is, you are going to double it, and that is going to be the circumference, and you're going to use 6.28 to get the radius. I hope you get it. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out now. So this is what we have. I will cut the second part now. So I've cut my flanks. Can you see it? I've cut the two of them. So this is what you should have. We'll go ahead now and sew the edges. We need to sew it. So I've sewn the edges. Can you see it? So you need to sew it very tiny so that it will be very neat. I've done that for the two parts. So the next thing to do now is to go and work on our band. This is my lining. I'll use the lining to turn the waist of my band using 1/2 inch. So I'm going to do the same thing for the back as well. So you need to get the placement of your band so that by the time you want to attach it to the skirts, it will not confuse you. So I notch my zipper area. You need to do that so that you get the right placement, and you're going to place your lining on the band. You are going to sew the upper part of your band. So I'll take them to the sewing machine now to go and sew them down before we come and attach it to the skirt. So this is my band. I've sewn the lining. I've used the lining to turn it on the waist. So, and I've even gone ahead to iron it down. So I folded in 1/2 inch on the part we have our stay. I said that is going to be the right side. So this is going to help us to achieve neat finishing. All right, the next thing we're going to do now is to place our ruffles. So here is the hack. You are going to place your flanks right side facing right side on the fabric. So can you see the way I place it? You are going to place it in like this. Do you get it now? So, and you even have to chalk out your seam allowance, because you don't want your ruffles to dig deep inside the seam allowance. So I have finished up the two edges of my ruffles, the one that will be dropping on the upper part and the one that will be dropping on the lower part. So from the waist of your band, you need to come down like 1 inch. These ruffles must not enter into, you are going to, like, there is a way you are going to place it, that it is just a bit, the tip of it, that will enter your band. I hope you get it now. So can you see me, the way I'm placing it, that I am not placing it to the edge, to the beginning of the skirt. The space I have there is my seam allowance. So, and I'll just go ahead and pleat it. You need to be intentional about your pleating. The direction you are using is going to be the direction you are going to use for the other side. So I pleated it upward. So for the other side too, when you want to pleat, you make sure you do the same thing. Can you see it? And towards the end of your skirt, you are going to drop it. You are going to leave, like, I left like 5 inches, because you don't want to pleat the whole thing. So if you look at the thumbnail, you are going to see the part of the ruffles dropping. So you need to do the same thing. So you don't have to pleat the whole thing. I dropped like 5 inches. So I'll go and sew it down like this. Can you see the seam allowance I left? You need to do this so that your skirt will not be too thick on the side, on the two side. Do you get it? And so that it will not dip into your flanks too much. So I'll go and sew it down. Now I've sewn it down. Can you see it? So this is what we have, and this is how your ruffles should look like, both sides. On the hem of my skirt, I left like 5 inches. Can you see it? You need to do so that it will drop by the time you finish sewing it. So I'm going to arrange it inward like so. You make sure you arrange it properly so that you can place your back block on it. So this is my back block. I've sewn down the down part, leaving only my zipper space. Do you get it now? So you know there's no back vent on this skirt, so you need to sew that part down. I just want to pin down this zipper space, so I will arrange it properly like this. Can you see it now? Make sure you arrange it very well so that your ruffles will not fall to the side. So I'll take it to the sewing machine to go and sew down using my seam allowance. So when you want to sew the upper part, you know, we are still going to attach our band. We are going to leave like 1 inch, and the hem too, you are going to leave like 1 inch. So use your seam allowance to sew it down. Leave this space 1 inch because we are still going to attach our band to it. Do you get it now? Let me go and do that. All right, this is it. So I've sewn down my flange. Can you see how fluffy our flange is? And I left that waist part opened. I left like 1 inch so that I can have access to sew down my band. So this is what I did. I have created one casing for the rope, so I'm going to show you how I did that so that you can replicate it. So this place here now, this is what I achieved. So for this side, I'm going to bring it. I noticed that the seam allowance cannot be enough for the casing, so I went ahead to cut 1.5 inch width, and the length is the length of my skirt. Do you get it now? So I'm going to attach it to the two sides, you know, of my skirt, right side facing the right side, and I will just use ½ inch to sew it down. So I'm going to attach it to the second part as well. So like that is going to give me room to sew it without it showing outside, without the seam showing outside. So can you see it? I've joined the that piece together, so I'm going to roll it over. So the reason why you need to do this is so that it will give you room to sew this than without you sewing it on your skirt part, because the seam must not show outside. Do you get it now? So can you see, you just roll it like this and sew it down, so you make sure that the passage is enough to accommodate your rope. So I will take it back to the sewing machine. You ensure you don't sew it on your skirt because your stitch must not show outside. So I'll go and do that on both sides, and we'll come and pass in our rope, because you need to pass in your rope before you attach your band. I've sewn it down. This is what we have. Can you see it? I sew it down without me sewing on my skirt, so this casing, they are standing on their own. Do you get it now? So I prepare my rope just like the length of the skirt, about 2 inches longer than the skirt. So I'll just go ahead now and pass in the rope to the side. I'll do that on both sides. You know, you must have 2 ropes on each side. Do you get it now? You make sure you stitch it down so that it will not drop back. Do you get it now? So I'll just pin it down so that it will not drop back. So after attaching, passing the 2 rows, so you can now go ahead and place your band. So you need to get the placement of your band. So the side that we iron our estate to is going to be the one that will fall to the front, that will be showing outside. You know, I said it is the right side. So the part without interfacing, can you see the way I'm placing it, is going to be like the wrong side. So you are going to place it on the wrong side of your skirt and pin. So can you see it? So attach it to the wrong side of your skirt and pin. So you are going to use this to cover it up. Do you get it now? So you need to pin down that of the back as well. Wrong side facing wrong side. just go ahead and pin down the band to the back. So the 1 inch you left without sewing is going to help you to get access. If you have sewn everything down, you won't be able to attach your band to the waist. So I will go and attach it like so. I will sew it down. I'm going to finish up, weave every aspect that I need to weave, and I'll come and show you the next thing to do. So I've sewn my band down. Can you see how neat it is? So the next thing to go and do now, I have weaved every necessary part. So the next thing I'll go and do now is to close that part. We left 1 inch, so you need to close it up. You need to take it to the sewing machine back and close it up. I'll do that to the other side as well. And at the hem, you need to finish it up. You're going to sew the edges, sew it down neatly, and our skirt is ready. So this is what you should have, and this is what is going to create the draping effect. Can you see it? So I'll just go attach my zipper, and everything is ready to be worn. So I'm going to put it on for us to see the final outlook. So this is the final outlook of our skirts. I hope you find this tutorial helpful. If you find it helpful, kindly give us thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more interesting tutorial. I'll see you in the next class. Bye.